This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the XZBN network. My email address, xzone at X-Zone Radio TV. Our address on every, and I mean every social media site, is X-Zone Radio TV. And our website is www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Joe Higgins, and Joe is an Amazon best-selling author, medium, spiritual teacher, and intuitive counselor. He has had the ability to communicate with those who have passed on since an early age. Joe has completed and taught classes in mediumship and advanced mediumship, as well as becoming a certified Reiki master. He has completed the Morris Pratt Institute training and a residential course in pastoral skills in Lilydale, New York. Joe's first book, Hello, Anybody Home? A guide how our deceased loved ones try to contact us through the use of signs, has been well received for helping people understand the process of contact. Joe's second book, The Everything Guide to Evidence of the Afterlife, a scientific approach to proving the existence of life after death, has just been recently published by Adams Media and is available worldwide. Now, Joe's latest book, Always Connected for Veterans, Deceased Vets Give Guidance from the Other Side, focuses on the questions veterans and their families are asking about their involvement in the war. Joe is becoming a leading authority on signs, and he offers channeled, intuitive, and mediumistic readings in person or by telephone, as well as seminars and workshops. Joe's website is www.joehiggins.com. And now joining me is the gentleman that I was telling you about, Mr. Joe Higgins. And Joe, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for having me on.
Great having us with you, Joe. You found out that you were able to communicate with the other side at a very, very early age. How did that come about?
Well, probably back when I was maybe 8 or 9 or 10 years old. 10 years old, I used to sense that people were around me, and I didn't necessarily know who they were at that point or what they wanted, but I could tell that there were people, with me, during the evening if I was sleeping or sometimes early in the morning. And as I got older, I started to develop my skills a little bit more where I could actually find out who some of those people were.
Wow. Did it scare you as a young child when you finally realized that you were actually communicating with people who were dead?
Yeah, it did, because back then, in those days, no one really talked about it. I mean, today we have the Internet, we have radio shows like yours, where it's much more open, and people that have different senses or gifts, they're able to share these with other people. But back 30 or 40 years ago, it was kind of like no one really talked about it. And I didn't talk about it until I was probably in high school or college.
When you finally realized that you actually truly had a gift, the ability to bring closure, to reunite loved ones, how did that make you feel?
Oh, my God, it felt like this is what I was supposed to do in my life. And it was an epiphany. It was an awakening, saying, I have this ability and I can really help bring peace and understanding to others that are in suffering. I'm
right.
I have to do this. I have to continue on this path.
Your recent book, Always Connected for Veterans, Deceased Vets Give Guidance from the Other Side. How is your book being reviewed by members of the military who have lost deceased ones?
Actually, from the vets that I have talked to, they've really enjoyed it because there seems to be a lot of insight inside the book that they can relate to, and there's some aspects that they didn't realize, especially like relationships when they come back from a war zone, that the civilians have gone through also. And a lot of them are starting to see it from a different perspective,
right?
Which was, helpful to them.
When we come back from our 2-minute commercial break, Joe, that we have to take, I'd like you to, based on your experience, based on your communications with the other side, give us a little look into what happens after we die and leave this mortal existence. And what happens? Where do we go? What's the process? And maybe we can start healing a few hearts who are listening tonight, who have lost loved ones, and they wonder, is there an afterlife? Joe Higgins is my special guest. His website is www.joehiggins.com. And Joe and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell. Once again, our email address, xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV, and our website, where you can always listen to past editions of the show at www.xzoneradiotv.com. And now, radio by phone at 213-401-0080. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, a guiding light spelled LITE.com to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation, Joe Higgins is our special guest this hour, www.joehiggins.com. Joe, based on your experience and the many communications that you've done from this side to the other side, and those that you've had the opportunity of conversing with, what happens to us when this side of reality ends? What happens when we die?
Basically, we go back to originally where we came from. We're spiritual beings, and we transition back into that state. We're usually met with loved ones that welcome us back. Sometimes we might not recognize them, but we can feel their love and presence. So they help us acclimate to our new life once we have crossed over to that spiritual side.
You know, on this planet, in this plane of reality, Joe, there are so many different religious beliefs. There are so many different religious philosophies. Does everything meld and become one on the other side?
Yeah, because a lot of the major religions are all, a lot of them are very similar. They talk about the golden rule, they talk about love and compassion, and that's what you see on the other side. It's just different versions, different twists, and different, leaders during different historical periods put their own twist on the separate religions.
You know, I've been told by so many people who have been on this show over the last 22 years, Joe, that we come back after we die. We're reincarnated because there is so much to learn. What is the information that you have learned from your communications with the other side? Do we come back?
You can come back if you want, but we're multidimensional beings, meaning we're living on different dimensions all at the same time, learning different experiences. So some people do come back to this particular plane if they want to learn certain things that they can't learn somewhere else. But other times they'll continue to learn on the other side and not come back, but still contact us on this side and try to help others that are still here.
What is our reason for being?
Is to learn, is to become more enlightened to understand our true being of love and compassion, and there are different stages of it, obviously. So that's our quest.
Is there any scientific proof, scientific evidence that actually collaborates the belief in life after death?
In the last 10 years, the stuff they've done with quantum physics and string theory and things like that, they've actually they're starting to realize that there are multi-dimensions out there. And that's strictly from a pure scientific situation. And then when you throw in some of the evidential information coming through mediumship and the study of consciousness and the mind, which we knew very little about years ago, and we still only know a little bit about it, we can see the possibilities that there is something greater out there than actually just our physical being. So it's starting to cross from, show me the exact proof to all of a sudden it's like a lot of these things are possible.
Right.
Let's look into it more.
Joe, before we start talking about your book, Always Connected for Veterans, I was wondering if we could go back to your book entitled Signs. And, what are some of the signs that the deceased try to make contact with us?
Well, a lot of them, there are many signs. There are dozens of them, but a lot of the common ones have to do with our senses, such as smell or hearing. A lot of times people will smell like perfume, or like in my dad's case when he passed, I smell cigars when he's around.
Really?
Sometimes some people have association with birds, especially cardinals of the afterlife. Some people find coins, and other times they can manipulate, and music is very easy.